So good morning, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Abellion from the University of the Philippines, and I'm standing here on behalf of Group Number One. So our topic was on Subteam A, which was enhancing global presence through international PR. We just coined a new term, especially for this presentation, because we wanted something catchy, we wanted something new, so which is why we came up with this term, global engagement. Okay. So we identified first several issues in regards to PR in the global engagement field. So, okay. First of which is staff capacity. We were able to analyze and then give some experiences on the different problems in terms of staff capacity because not all universities has a wide international office. Some has even just a couple of staff. Some has a big number of staff members. So it differs from each university, but in essence, this is a problem that uh, will be or has been experienced by each university. Next is on language and culture. Excuse me. So this technically pertains more towards to the exchange students and probably some faculty members as well. So as we all know, as members of the international offices of our respective universities, we do exchange programs with various countries abroad. So one of the challenges our students face is, of course, language barrier. So another thing is the culture as well. So since some students, well, there are some students who do their research on their own. Some students are majoring in their preferred degrees with the specific language, but and the culture. But some are basically, for example, in our case, in our university, we have several students coming here in Japan to take up engineering, but they have no prior knowledge of the Japanese language. So comes as a problem on their part as well. Next is of course funding, as we all know. This comes in terms of funding for the students, funding for research projects, collaborations between our institutions, funding for conferences like this. So this is also an issue that we identified as well. Lastly is of course future challenges. So we identified several possible problems that might be coming in the future. So as for the solutions for each issue, so I'll start first with staff capacity. For the staff capacity, we first of as I mentioned before, there are some universities that has some problems with staffing. We included capacity building because we thought that the best way to further improve the program, any kind of program in our universities is to train the staff who handles the program itself. And then next is towards the volunteer program. This comes to the student exchange programs. For example, in our university, our past exchange students, we kindly ask them to assist us in some of our events, activities towards the new exchange students, either incoming or outgoing. Aside from this, they also come as a student ambassadors that represent our universities as well. Another important thing is, as mentioned by some of the universities in our group, is towards the buddy system. So, as we all know, exchange students might probably experience some difficulties in terms of adjusting to the new culture, new environment, new country they'll be going on. So having a body that will be together with you throughout the program will definitely be helpful. Next is on language and culture. As I mentioned before, there are some problems for our students who go to a different country. As for the engaging academics, this refers to our academic faculties, more of foreign faculties, which we can seek advice, help, assistance in terms of translation of several agreements, like offering some tutorial services for our outgoing students in the future. Next is for the briefing orientation as well. I'm sure everyone does this program before they send out their own students abroad. Next is for funding. As we all know, as I mentioned again before, funding is an issue for everyone, especially for students or exchange students who are not so well off in terms of their exchange programs. They'd have to apply to scholarships outside their university, sometimes through the governments of each country. So if there's no available scholarship in your university, so there's basically no choice for our students to apply for external grants. And next is for matching funding. So this is a specific program. So basically, that agreement goes like the home university will shoulder 50% and then the host will be shouldering the other half. So it depends on each university, but this is one solution that we came up with. Lastly is towards future challenges. So we identified 3 solutions on this part. First is strategic alliance. So as of the Philippines being an Asian country, so majority of our partners are in the Asian region. We do have some partners in the western part, so Europe and America, but from what we noticed, the type of activities mostly revolve in student exchange, and we wanted more. So we thought of having a strategic alliance. It means that we'll be partnering up with universities or universities and institutions in your local area, local region, so that which promotes common interest to everyone. So next is institutional commitment. So this was also partly discussed yesterday. It says that as the president of our organizations changes, the goals and tracks also change. So for this year, we may have good funding for internationalization, but it does not guarantee that for the next year it will be the same. So to further promote our programs or further improve everything about internationalization, we need the institutional commitment. We need the support from the higher ups so that we can further implement our programs and offer it to a wider variety of audiences. And lastly, for sustainable collaboration. So I'd like to give an example on this. In our university, when I came to the office as a staff around 2 years ago, I noticed that we have a lot of active agreements, but there are only few, active agreements such that it's not yet expired, but there are so many stale agreements, such that it's basically they partner up with us just to say that we're partnered with this university, to include in our website that we are partners. So we wanted to change that. We wanted to promote other activities. So basically, not only student exchange, we are exploring aspects on faculty mobility, and then research collaborations. And then as for the other universities, I think this is a goal for all of us as well, such that we'd like to have more activities in more areas of the world, because this not only influences our students, our faculty members, but also we can also provide influence to the host countries. Thank you. So